We have a big story when it comes to the weather and this major system, atmospheric river is what we're calling it.
Sure, yes. We're definitely tapping into all of that moisture that's coming up from the south and southwest. We've got very cold, unstable air mass getting ready to move over us. That's going to translate to some really stormy weather as we get into the remainder of today, particularly as we get into tonight and during the overnight hours. Okay, let's talk about this. This is our futurecast. You can see the cold front. You can kind of tell by looking at where all of the green is here. The center of the low pressure is still offshore near central California, and that is going to continue to move its track over us later today. You can see the prefrontal showers, as we call it, later this afternoon, and then later tonight around 9 p.m. we'll start to see the leading edge of that cold front, and then during the overnight hours we'll get some of the heavier downpours. Again, very unstable air mass, and we could get some thunderstorms, and with those thunderstorms, the potential for some weak tornadoes, some small hail, and very strong gusty winds. So very dangerous to hazardous driving conditions, particularly if you're heading up to the high country. A lot of snow expected with this system as well. A little bit of a break in the action early Friday, but then Friday afternoon, we've got another weaker system that's going to roll and give us just some leftover shower activity. Saturday and Sunday look pretty good. And then we've got another system, it looks like, according to the models, that could give us another shot at some light rain. Here's some of the rain totals that we're picking up here on the forecast models. Fullerton could get 1.5 inches or a little bit more than that by Thursday morning. 1 inch, maybe a little bit more than that for downtown LA through early tomorrow morning, and then about 0.6 of an inch in Riverside. As far as snow, very impressive numbers here. We've got potentially 1 to 2 feet expected up at the high elevations in Big Bear Lake. Wrightwood could get up to a foot, maybe a little bit more than that in an Idlewild. 4 to 6 inches possible. And we do have those winter storm warnings in effect, so please bring your chains, bring your winter gear if you are headed to the high country. So far, we've gotten just 65/100th of an inch of rain this month. We typically get over 2 inches. It's the 4th wettest month of the year, and even though we had a lot of rain in February, we still have a huge deficit. We still have to catch up to that average for the year of 11.8, over 5.5 inches below seasonal average. So maybe we'll get 1 inch or 2 here as we get through the next several days. Temperatures will stay below average, as you can see here. That little break for the weekend before that next opportunity for some precipitation next week. Mountain snow, of course, expected through at least Friday, and then another chance early next week. This is storm number 2 that we're watching, and this is a much stronger storm with a lot of cold air, very unstable air mass along with it, and it's going to bring us some significant impacts by way of some rain, heavy rain at times, and even a chance for some thunderstorms. Rain could get anywhere from 1 to 2 inches along the coast, upwards of 2 to 4 inches for the mountains and foothills, and with the thunderstorms, we could see a chance for some hail as well as even a weak tornado. High rain rates are expected with this cold front as it moves in, so we're talking about 3/4 of an inch to even 1 inch per hour. When we get that kind of downpour, there's just nowhere for that water to go. So it's going to pool and pond and flood in many areas. And of course, that strong of a rainfall rate can trigger those mud and debris flows. Very dangerous driving conditions, especially up towards the high country and the mountains with very strong gusty winds and blowing snow. We've got flood watches that are going into effect all across SoCal. Winter storm warnings for the mountains. So very hazardous driving conditions there, along with a high surf advisory, and then very gusty winds prompting the wind advisory as well. Temperatures staying below average in the 50s, 59 in Burbank. And at this hour, 2:30, we're going to start to see some prefrontal showers with the cold front still upstream. Back to you. Oh, I can't wait for the next segment. We're going to talk Hawaii over there, and aloha and flipping homes, my favorite thing. But before that, let's talk about the weather, because we are anticipating storm number 2. We've been talking about it all week. First one kind of, gently gave us some light rain yesterday. That's pushing off to the desert southwest. But this storm, a bigger one, much stronger one, is going to give us some significant impacts as we get into tonight, overnight hours, and into tomorrow. Here's one of our computer models picking up some of the pockets of moisture that's out there right now. Light drizzle maybe, but cloudy conditions. As we get to 3 p.m., still pretty calm. And then we've got the line of showers, that cold front moving in sometime between 10 and 11 tonight through parts of Ventura, LA County. Look at the line of severe weather. It's going to be rocking and rolling tonight during the overnight hours. So you want to stay alert, especially if you live around the fire zones, the Eaton fire, out towards the Bridge fire, and of course the Palisades fire. Look at that heavy rain, and the chance for some thunderstorms could spawn some, maybe even some tornadoes tornadoes, some weak ones, some hail as well, and of course a lot of mountain snow is what we're expecting. Things start to kind of quiet down the latter part of the morning commute tomorrow into the afternoon. We'll get a little break in the action early Friday, but then another system moves in, bringing us some showers. Quick moving though. The weekend looks pretty good. We do have that lunar eclipse on Friday evening. I think the clouds might clear in time to where we'll be able to see that lunar eclipse and blood red full moon. As far as snow, 1 to 2 feet possible over our Big Bear Lake Mountain areas, 12 to 18 inches in Wrightwood to that 4 to 6 inches in Idlewild. 1 to 2 inches possible of rain in that short period of time, so flooding a big concern. 2 to 4 feet for the mountains and foothills, and of course with the downpours that can trigger those mud and debris flows. So that's why we have really big concerns for those recently burned hillsides. So you want to stay alert. Here's our 7-day forecast as we look at, very cold temperatures. Low 50s for that high on Friday. Snow level is going to drop to about 3,000 feet. Drier on the weekend, but then another opportunity for showers next week, Monday, Tuesday. And then up into the mountains, as I mentioned, the snow chance is great for our resorts. Even in the low desert, we could get some showers by tomorrow into Friday. What to wear on a day like this? Let's go to Bob.